Is he crying? Who's dead? The mother, them, you call their mother, the mother is fine. So they need that. We need to change that, and it needs to be taught early. We need to start with the younger generation in school, that it's okay. Talking of school, look at them right now around, expressing their emotions in the most tragic, negative ways. And we are a society that just doesn't know how to deal appropriately with our emotions. I think these kids have legitimate reasons for reacting. Some of them we know as an educationist, I think the reasons are often valid. But now we don't give them avenues to express this very well, and especially the boys. Then all kind of tragic situations happen to our children in school, even in university level. They also, some of them don't even know the vocabulary. You ask them how you're feeling, they start telling you how they are thinking, or what they are thinking, or what happened. A long story about what they don't want. But you just ask them how they are feeling. They cannot tell me, I feel, I normally do that. I feel dash. And tell them sad, angry, frustrated, hopeless. They don't even know those words, so then they must be encouraged more to talk without ridicule. And most of this fear and ridicule happens like a joke. A guy goes and tell his friend, oh, I'm going to see this Dr. Joe I was referred, just to talk about, me and Miriam, we're having a bit of problem. When you were cheesy, now, we ridicule that. Now, how does this guy feel? Next time he's not going to open up. They want to talk, because that's what we do. And so it's something that we all need to work together on, starting in schools, in workplaces, and hopefully within some time we might see a healthier male guys out here. Mental health also need to be male friendly. Anonymity is big for men. The male patterns of depression, people need to be educated to recognize them, and also to help them. Men are very interesting fellows, and oftentimes when maybe the wives or parents have come in first, one way to get them in, and I tell them we're coming to solve the wife's problems. That one they come quickly, and then when they come, slowly we start talking about them without them realizing they were the subject all along. But if you tell them, you Kuja, your wife thinks you're depressed and you're acting weird, they won't come. But if I tell them, I'm seeing this lady here, Miriam, and she's got some issues, and I think you can help me deal with them. And anybody says, no, you just come, I'll tell you. Then, something like that. So make it male friendly. The terminologies we use, if you put it in those kind of quote unquote weak terms, you got a problem, you're dealing, then they read that as you saying, I'm not man enough. The strengthening social connection. Again, there's a lot to be done, not time to go into all this, by creating structured spaces, meaning we have to be basically intentional about this. Find men where they are. We are going to need to go where men go to work through that, whether it is sports. Men like doing stuff. They talk as they do stuff. In church, we've started that tradition. We do hikes, talk around different things. If a month or so we meet once, get a topic. Like last time I was talking to them about the psychology of money, or they loved it. We've talked about emotional intelligence and all that, just talking through that. And they find that more comfortable, and often we do that around Nyamachoma. That just seems to work a whole lot better than calling them to this clinic to do this and that. No, a lot more people are opening up to mentorship programs, both at work and elsewhere, through coaching practices. I think these are all good avenues to be tailored better. In terms of helping with the situation. I know several of our mainline churches are doing a decent job, like Man Enough programs in the chapel groups and all that. But I think that even the non-church groups need to follow through and then see how clubs. The other day, Parklands Club called me in to talk to retired men because of the same thing. They noticed the loneliness, they noticed the early death rates were high, the drinking was excessive. Some folks who are going in there after retirement are not leaving. They now stay at the Parklands Club. And so the manager, and a bunch of others organized this workshop, which was fantastic. We're meant to follow it up with a few things. So these things are real, guys, and they're out there. So you see now, this is a club organizing that. I really say kudos folks like that who are sensitive. Now, incidentally, it was the women in leadership there that noticed the problem and highlighted and brought the chairman in, and he was very open to doing that. So it's still work in progress. I think there's more of that can be done in different forums. Economic and identity class, man, hata nisiende hapo. Those are big issues. I know we are all in the thick of it right now, but gosh, there's a lot that needs to be done. Financial counseling, the debt problem, the mobile debt problem, and the chaos that brings in. And well, I just say that governance for some of our people, they need to stop politicking, and it's time, politicking, and they need also sometimes to sit down and get some work done. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I don't like it when all I see is politics, and people just chasing power, and then when they have that power, they do little to really deliver in terms of what really matters to the populace. And so these are conversations I think that we must have, especially now that we are a growing democracy and we're getting more educated and more informed. And I think these are things that going forward, we're definitely going to need to address in bigger forums and also individually. The integration of mental health into primary care, very important. That just means that hospitals, because hospital, the doctor is where most people first go to get help. Statistically, 70% of what the ER doctor is going to be met with or to deal with are originating from psychological problems, 70%. Now, they will present as that headache, they'll present as that big chest pain that they thought was a heart attack. They will present with things that look physical, pains that cannot be explained, and name it, breathing. But if you just interview a little bit, and good doctors now know this, you will find that the problem is starting from psychological issues, and a good number of doctors have started referring them to people like us and others to be able to help them to deal. And so by integrating mental health into primary care, then again, we can meet people right there, not to wait for them to be referred from the ER or from the doctor they went to see and then have to travel to find Dr. Joy in Lavington. How about we actually had it right there in the hospital so that, hey, go to room 3 there, there's some fellows waiting for you there or something, and then talk to them. And right there, they can start connecting at a psychological level. That's what we mean by actually integrating it. So it is part of it, not something far away that they have to go look for. Public campaigns targeting men, a few have come out there, but I think more needs to be done. Once it's a way to destigmatize more men coming out. I mean, you see the men we see as strong. And in the West, they do that. You find some big names have come out, Ronaldo and other big names, who will come out in the open and say, hey, I have struggled with depression from time to time. I have had to see my doctor, and then I'm going to a therapy. I'm still seeing a therapist right now. I mean, I see that's powerful, because he is a man they have associated with power. And they can see this fellow here coming and say, hey, I've struggled with this, and I still do, and here's what I'm doing to get help. You see, you've just killed a lot of stigma around it, because you've shown that strong men also do have problems, and they should face them, not run away from them, not try to drink them down, and not destroy themselves in the process. Okay, so you focus on strength through help seeking, not weakness. That's what I'm saying. Again, like highlighting stories of recovery, not just crisis. I do that a lot at our wellness center, where I've worked with so many other guys, especially men, who are doing a successful recovery program. They think of men who've been sober for 10 years, whose lives were a mess, and they come and talk to the other gentlemen and show them that it can be done, and you can change, and you can actually live a healthy life and things like that. And then policy and community level action, again, that is a big one. Among with the going counties and devolution, there was also decentralization, community health, based care on mental health. But I can tell you very little of this has been done. I come from Migori County, and I can tell you the 4 counties around Migori, the nearest place you can get serious mental health intervention is Eldoret. How about that? Imagine that. Okay, so we got a problem on that, and we can talk about that. This table just summarizes everything I've talked about, but let's wrap it up in the next few minutes. I want to spare a few minutes to do. So what can you do? 7 habits that you can do personally. Learn to name your emotions. Okay, pause at least once a day, and just Figure out what you're feeling. Tired, anxious, hopeful, overwhelmed, proud, happy, name it. What are you really feeling? Yeah, and I like to do that even on my way home during my 30, 40 minutes drive. Actually, 45 is more like it. You power down. We'll talk about that in a bit. Just, and then then you know how to handle yourself. Then it doesn't project into weird behaviors. Okay. Naming an emotion reduces its intensity because now I know what it is. It tells the brain, I know the problem. Now I'm not just all over the place. It is a foundation of emotional strength, not a weakness. Number two, build one meaningful connection. In the wellness center, I preach it every day. I tell them all your problems are ultimately relational. It's the lack of connectivity. That's where it's at. We are a very disconnected, lonely bunch of people, and many of our problems are just related to that. In fact, loneliness, like I said, is one of the biggest killers of men's mental health. So what do you do? Get some friends, at least send one message to a friend or sibling. Share something real, not just banter. Man, we just banter, jokes too. No, something real. Get someone you can share with. The poorest person is not the fellow who's penniless. The poorest person is a person who does not have one person they can truly be real with, they can talk to, a soulmate. Now, that fellow is poor, and we have a lot of them. Schedule one meetup a week, even 30 minutes, this person, just to talk, okay? Not to drink, not just to talk, okay? Now, we don't need many friends, okay? Men just need one or two real ones, and that's good enough. Forget the crowd. Those just a crowd, the boys, as you call them. No, one or two. Move your body every day. Exercise. It's great. You definitely need that. 20 minutes walking, a few push-ups and squats. Even minutes. It's 9 minutes of that every day consistently done will make a huge change. If you don't believe me, read Atomic Habits by James Clear. It will tell you how little habits we do every day add up and yield huge results. The idea is consistency, not the magnitude. Don't hit the gym for 2 hours just because now you're going to show. No, 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 no. Even if you just start slowly every day, provided you're consistent. A short run, a football game with any number of things, but movement, even at the office, get up and move around a little bit, okay? It stabilizes mood, it improves sleep, and reduces anxiety. Number four, reduce alcohol as a coping tool. Don't use alcohol is never meant to be a coping tool. In fact, the minute you start seeing you're depending on alcohol, red flag, seek help immediately. Stop. Don't do it. Okay, because most times we just drink to numb our stress. But what you don't know is that alcohol is a depressive agent. It will cause more anxiety and more depression. It's a central nervous system depressant and not the other way around. So track your drinking. If you must drink, just drink moderately. Replace one drink with water or tea. Avoid drinking alone. Alone drinkers are some of the worst alcoholics. And small reductions, again, make big difference. Again, I've just highlighted a very complex thing. You're going to look at that more closely. Create a simple structure for your day. Because men thrive in routine rather. It reduces mental load. You have a more predictable day. You sleep and wake certain times. Have a small morning ritual, prayer, stretching, journaling, something just to have a clear work block, a wind down routine in the evening. How do you power down? What you do? For most men, I just go to the bar. That's how you power down. But you don't power down, you shut down. You do get depressed. You're not solving anything. Healthy power down routine is something you need to do. And having structure, remember, is not rigidity, it is self-protection. Talk to someone before you hit crisis. Oh man, this is big. I just need to say, please find someone you can talk to before it gets to a crisis. Most men will only hear their issues when it is crisis level. They will have been going through marital abuse for years before they finally break and then they talk. There are many stories, you've read them. The recent one was very sad about this guy who got himself mixed up with fellows in the workplace and had to jump off, I think it was 7th floor of some building. Very, very sad. Young guy doing very well in his career, but got himself into a mess that you hear the story, says, why didn't you just talk to someone? Why didn't you just talk to your wife? Just sit down, tell her, mommy, I've messed up. Okay, I'm in a situation. here's what's going on. I know after hearing this, you'll probably leave me, but please don't. I want to be, talk, but they don't do that. So, okay, look at early signs and be aware of them. Irritability, you're withdrawing, you're not sleeping, overworking, drinking more. All those are early signs. Share what's happening with someone you trust. Find at least that someone you trust. If you don't have one, start working towards one. Find one, but therapists like myself are available. You can come in and just talk. Don't worry about the money. Just some of us, it's not about the money, at least not fast. Just come and we can talk about it, okay? If you have any symptoms of 2 weeks or more, it's diagnosable. You need professional help. Seeking help early is strength, it's not surrender. And finally, do one thing that gives you meaning, that makes you happy, something of yours. Men need purpose, not just productivity. At work, it's all about productivity, but productivity does not equate purpose. No, it doesn't. Find a purpose in life, something you want to do, something. How is a purpose? That's something which you love doing, that helps other people, that you would be happy to do even without pay. Now it's not attached to money. It's just something you do. Okay. Work on a skill, mentor a younger guy, to bring them up to speed, volunteer somewhere to do something beautiful, build something just for the sake of building it. Like those guys we used to do. We'll have old cars, even kinds old, to just tear the engine and then put it back together. Just to see how quickly we can do it. It's so much fun. Spend time with your children. That's awesome. Men love being fathers. Build a good relationship with them. Spend time with them. Make that time. Make it happen. And then finally, we're supposed to protect mental health more than pleasure does. I am done for today. Thank you very much for listening.
Yep. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Thank you, Dr. Okay, I'd like to request us to mute, even as we wind up. Let me try and mute that particular person. But thank you very much, Dr. Joe. I mean, we've all learned, even us as women, a lot we have picked, and thank you so much. I don't know if there are any questions, any remarks. Please feel free to raise up your hand. I will head to the chat area just to see what's... So Abraham requests that we share the presentation. Yes, we will definitely share the presentation. And also Kirote says, great session. Thank you so much for organizing this. The speaker was on point and I've picked up gems I can immediately put into practice. Yeah. And Mugera Denny says, thank you, Dr. Joe. So if there are any questions, as Daktari mentioned, feel free to raise your hand so that he can have some interaction as well. Any comments or questions are welcome. Yeah, Monica says all problems. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so quite a number of feedback coming in. Let me just go back Yeah, so Monica emphasizes that all problems are ultimately relational. This is so true. Yeah. So Margaret asks, how do you support men outside Kenya?
It depends on where they are. Am I still on or I'm mute? Okay.
You're on.
Okay. How do you support men outside Kenya? If they're in Uganda, it's one thing. If they are in Iran right now, tell them to get out. If if they are in the West, I think there's a lot more structured support there for men. So if they are outside Kenya, I would be curious about where exactly and what sort of support. But I would say if you're linked to them in any way, technology is a big help for us today. I have family and some of my kids who live abroad. Video calls is a good way to connect with them. Please connect with them. We have a lot of our kids, especially boys abroad, who are suffering big time because they're also lonely. They're hit with the loneliness of the West. And I think a call a day at home, a video call with somebody they are connected to, goes a long, long way to help them, and especially in catching problems before they have reached crisis level. So connect with them. connect them. I know they're busy. Make it, structure it so that you can say every day at 8 p.m. We have our call, even if it's just 10 minutes, even 5 minutes, no matter what. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Margaret says in Uganda. Yeah, she's in Uganda.
She's in Uganda. Yeah, again, same thing.
Yes.
Uganda is not too far. We can do phone calls. We can organize visits, free regular ones. After again, depending on what it is they're doing. But you see now, UG is very manageable. I think we don't even need a visa. Every couple of months, have them come over if they're a working spouse. Depending, it's not good to be out there working for too long alone. I think a system should be in place where they regularly come home at predicted intervals. But like I said again, stay connected. Talk to them and encourage them, especially for women. I think it's a lady asking. For men, they don't structure it so that they feel you're checking on them. Ukifanya inaonekana ni kama now you are just an insecure wife who's thinking that those beautiful Ugandan women are invading your marriage, then they'll look at it negatively. But if you structure it as an sometimes, hey, I really want to just give you support. I want to know exactly. I want to know how you're doing, and initially even stay away from your conversation. No. Just talk to them. And I think it doesn't take long for a spouse to realize you really just care about them and you're really just checking on them. And in fact, in any case, that alone might help them go a long way in making them stay on the straight and narrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Daktari. Thank you for that feedback. So, yeah, so just more, there's a question here, not more of a question, but more of just input. Thomas saying, great session, Daktari. Irene Kitheka saying, very insightful, asante. Martin Kapchanga says, wonderful talk. And Abraham says, do you need our email addresses for sharing notes? Perhaps we will share this through your HRs, and then your HRs will send this out to you all. Yeah, so I see Julius Kitheka has raised his hand. So please go ahead, Julius. Julius, the GM Healthcare Liaison Group. Karibu.
Thank you so much,
Julius, you can
Yvonne.
unmute.
Yes, you can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes, thank you so much, Yvonne, and thank you, Daktari.
Karibu.
There are many, what I say is that we are always forgotten in the society. And within that is because of how we have been brought up, that a man should never cry, a man should not be able to express themselves openly, and a man should take care of whatever happens. So those are some of the areas that has made us, when we are growing from the time we were young, we have been affected in many ways. And it really, really affects even our mental strength. I'm so happy for this presentation, which has come at the right time. Ladies understand themselves better than all of us. And you see, if a man will have a problem, even with his own confidence, and they will not say, he will be in a very big, a deep hole in terms of his own stress, in terms of his mental alignments, but he will not be able to even confide to the person they call their mentors, the person they call their own confidence, and they will continue taking him slowly by slowly. But now, as the way Dr. you have said, we need to be able to understand our signs, be able to control. Specifically, I can just talk about myself. One of the things that you have talked about, I have made sure that I have a club. I have a men's club where we can be able to sit and talk. The way I worked on it is I have my seniors. Seniors I call my mentors, the ones I can be able to tell them, apart from my career growth, these are some of the interests that I have. If it's a family challenge, I can be able to talk to them and they can give me their own story, because everyone has their own challenges over and above their career growth. Yeah, and then they can also give them their view, which doesn't have conflict of interest. Then I have my the people that we can call ourselves same age mates, age sets, even in terms of profession, we are almost on the same side, and we have discussions off cuff, off work. And then also the younger people that also look upon me, I sit with them and also not directly express my own feelings, but also I tell them the challenges in life. Yeah. So I have people that I carry on. They call me a mentor. I call them mentees. I have my own peers, which I can sit and be able to talk, because anything that is within ourselves is shared. Then I have people to look upon.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, I like the early warning signs. Yeah, like insomnia is in many of us. When you have been given serious targets, you go home and you want to act till morning.
Yeah.
And it is taking your health is actually you are actually compromising with your health. So men, we must be able to sit and say sometimes self-care is very much important.
Right.
The good thing is that we have the likes of Daktari and many other wellness experts within liaison covers the bigger liaison. That's why Yvonne is our head of wellness, because she understands it from the psychology side, from the health side, and the benefits that it has. And we have seen it as well. Wellness is bigger than even the normal illness conditions that we take on. So I want to encourage each and every person who is in this group that we can even be able to do follow-ups. Yvonne will assist you to guide you on where and who can be your own facilitator in it, and will treat it with the confidence, the confidentiality that is needed. So Daktari, thank you so much. You have opened us as men, and I want our men to be better now and in the future. Thank you so much.
Karibu sana. In fact, James, you reminded me of one thing I should have said for men, a very quick one in terms of building a support network. We call it your 4-man team, not a crowd team. And your support system should include one emotional support person, that is someone you can talk to honestly, one practical support person, someone who helps with making decisions, a no-nonsense objective person, one purpose partner, someone who helps you to grow, that pushes you to grow, and then one professional contact, doctor, counselor, mentor. That's what you need. So you don't need many people, you just need the right people. And every man, if you can work towards building that, have those 4 type of people around you, then you're doing good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thank you.
Thank you, Julius, for your input. I see Nicholas, you've raised your hand. Please go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. I don't know. I can call it I'm happy or I'm not happy, because I am arriving late in this meeting, which is very important. But I've had Julius putting it in a very good context. He has put it a very good report. And I really want to appreciate men have been forgotten in the society. And I've had people. Let me check. I've had people called Dr. Joe. So thank you so much for this important session that we've had with the team. And then I had some few sentiments that you made towards your end of the speech concerning people who are outside the country. So I really appreciate your input in such matters. You talked about women taking on men as if they are being seen by other men in the various countries that they are, and it's something that is really affecting. Julius mentioned something also about uh, gender sensitivity in the society. Most men have grown knowing that they are not supposed to cry. Most of men have grown knowing that they are not supposed to beg. But in this world that we are in right now, I think it's very important, Daktari, you've come up with this very important session to make men understand that we are moving out of our culture, we are moving out of our religion. I mean, our old lifestyle. Thank you so much. And I'll also request if I'll get the recording of the whole session, because I arrived a bit late. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And you've seen women are everywhere. When by the way, there's something I've realized. I've had a very, very beautiful voice in this session. I will also want, when women have trainings, men should also join, because there is a problem when it comes to understanding each other. When women are empowered, when they come up and speak up about their empowerment, men will be like, oh, these women are now coming, wanataka kutukalia. So I think it's something that we also need to be joining their meetings, so that we also understand each other. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Asante.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, Nicholas, for your input. Very well noted. And we will definitely share the recording and the presentation. Dr. just on closing remarks, even as we wind up on the session, maybe even based on what Nicholas has said.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you so much, Yvonne, for inviting me and all your friends to give you a very brief talk. I'm sorry again, all I've done is highlighted areas that I know each of them deserve more thorough approach, but the hope here was that we would open the conversation. It is very, very important that this conversation don't stop here. Julius, I'm so happy to hear what you're doing there. I think it's the right way to go. There's so much we can still do in our small circles to start, these healthier habits of inputting. So let's work together. Let's take this message to our homes, to our men at home. Let's take it to our places of work. And some of us are very open. The Psychology Forum, there are many of us willing to support in any way possible. So please don't hesitate to call. Everything you say is held in strict confidence. Strict confidence is our hallmark of trade. And don't be afraid. Just come over. I left my contact there. If you need it, talk to Yvonne. It is also on these same slides. So please reach out, whether it's for yourself or for anybody you know. There's so many people around us who need help. Many of them, especially men, just kept at bay by their own wrong, self-defeating beliefs and stigmas that are totally useless. And so let us all start, make this a starting point that we can take even in this Men's Month, and don't stop. Take it to church, talk to your pastors. Let them also reach out beyond just preaching and sermons. There's still a lot that needs to be done to build a healthy society and build healthy families. And so tuko pamoja na tufanye kazi pamoja. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Daktari, and thank you everyone for joining us for this session. I believe we've all learned something. I think the highlight is the 4 types of friends you've mentioned, Daktari, that we ought to have in our lives. I think it cuts across both genders. Yeah.
Absolutely,
So thank you
absolutely.
very much. Yeah. Thank you very much for all that you have taught us today. And thank you everyone for joining. You may have a good day. Feel free to log out now. Thank you.
Thank you.